Welcome back, everybody. I am Eric, and this is Gary. Today we are smoking the Ave Maria Reconquista. We're talking about why it's a great gift cigar, talking about some different management styles for different settings, and overall catching up on a few of our old topics and a little bit of a where are they now. So all that and more on Cedar Culture.
Kick back and relax, it's time to shoot the shit. Hanging out with the broskies, Gary and Eric. Let the ash go long and the convo stay pure. That's Cedar Culture. That's Cedar Culture. That's Cedar Culture.
Let's bundle these leaves and burn them and suck on them.
There we go.
My digits are gonna fall off, bud.
Digits are gonna fall off. Don't lick it before you stick it to a pole. It'll fall off.
I double dog dare you, bud. I double dog. Speaking of pole, this is a stick here, bud.
All right, what are we smoking?
We are smoking the Reconquista by Ave Maria. Beautiful stick. Beautiful stick.
Yeah,
Beautiful presentation.
I haven't even gotten in there
Yeah,
yet.
you kind of gotta like almost like on an actual fresh seal of cigars. You have to.
Luckily, I have my tool chest behind me
There
here.
you go. Got it. One of the things I was
Is
telling
yours already
Eric,
open?
that I love about the coffin construction, just something simple. But when you open it, the cigar actually lifts out.
It presents itself.
Right, like it does, and
It's like
Hello.
here
I don't
I
know.
am.
It's like you were knighted, and it lifts out. And I was like, well, what magic is that? It's literally a 90-degree piece of wood angle. Like, that's all it
Wizardry
is.
is this? Their sticks look so regal. It's not like my style. They're gaudy,
No, they are gaudy.
but there's beauty in it. Just like when you see a church, like a gaudy church
Right.
with a lot of stained glass. It's like beautiful. You wouldn't want it in your own house.
Right.
It's not your style,
Like
but
the stained glass
that's
is a
what these are
really
like.
good. I would attribute that to
dude, do
it.
you remember the day I was smoking an Ave Maria and then a praying mantis landed
Right on
out
the
like
coffin.
right next
and
to
I
me?
didn't even know about
Yeah.
this stick before then. Like I just remember you took that amazing picture.
That's
And you were like,
crazy.
hey, there's a mantis on my coffin. And I was like, that's the weirdest sentence anyone's ever uttered.
Well, I definitely I once I saw the mantis there, I had to
Smell that
run
foot.
at it with the
Not my
coffin.
foot.
Whoa,
Right?
that is like chocolatey and
Right? I mean, the wrapper's chocolate. I mean, this. When I think of cigars that
good.
you and I would both agree on,
I'm gonna need your cutter.
yeah,
I brought my
Brazilian Habano Oscuro wrapper, dark, oily, chocolatey. And I tell you what, a lot of people don't like it, but I like the V-notch on the torpedo, man. There's something kind of sensual about it.
There's something definitely kind of sensual about it. It's the moose knuckle it creates after you cut it out.
BMK, as it's known in the cigar world.
Dude, all right, so I kind of
nice
came
draw
to
on
some conclusions when I was trying to do a little bit of research just in how. So it's Ave Maria. I don't understand at all exactly how it works. I guess it's made by AJ Fernandez. But you go to AJ Fernandez's website, it's not on there. There's a whole separate Ave Maria Cigars website. And then I was trying to do research, and none of it is clear or obvious. And I finally just came to the conclusion that I'm done. Like, I'm not going to do this much research anymore because it's clear to me that they don't want you to know or they don't care. Like, they don't have marketing teams, apparently.
Right,
They don't,
and I think
they don't
we're
want
at
their
a
brand out
time-
there. They don't want you to know anything
They
about
are, but I
them.
don't think they want you to know the connection because then you have other
don't
main
understand.
brands rolled at like the My Father's, not my Father's.
I
but
get
My
that.
Father's.
I get them not. I get how sometimes a brand might not want you to know that they don't blend their own. That they're blended at another factory. That makes sense to me, kind of, I guess. But I don't know. I just think it's bizarre how difficult it is to find information on some of these cigars.
Is it any different than like Deadwood tobacco? And
No.
And then Overdrew.
No, I'm saying across.
you're saying across
I'm
the
saying
board.
across the board. Yeah, like while doing research for this today, I kind of came to that conclusion. But no, yeah, it's across the board that it's just clear to me these brands don't want you to like celebrate and support their brand and learn about it and know about it. So I'm done.
You know, it's funny you say that because I find a heck of a time like when I'm posting a picture of a cigar, I'm like, who do I tag? Like when we're doing a Cedar Culture post, I'm like, do I tag the place it was rolled at? The guy who put his name on the label? Like, who am I tagging? Like, who did it? So who owns the cigar?
Yeah, no,
No different than Java having a Rocky Patel sticker on it. You're like, what?
Yeah. But I really do think that's one of the reasons why Drew Estate blew up so much when it did. or just in general, because like they actually get marketing. You know, you can go to their website and you can see all their brands, and
They celebrate their brands. They don't hide them.
no, for sure. You know, just kind of from the founder down, right? Just kind of loud peacock kind of style. But it's branding, it's marketing. Like it's why people like it, you know, we see
Recognize the
in the
brand.
Drew Estate Facebook groups. Like if you say something bad about Drew Estate cigar, God forbid, you be
Dude,
careful.
Stay off the internet for a while, bud. Stay off the internet for a while.
You might get a flaming bag of poo on your doorstep the next day.
With a DE logo on it, and you're like, whoa. What are you getting off the initial light there, bud?
Give me a second. Not a whole lot, to be honest. I think I'm gonna need a dozen puffs or so
Yeah.
to open it up, kind of thing.
I'm getting some spice, a little bit of that cocoa, almost like a dry cocoa powder. But dude, that chocolate, when you smell the foot, kicks you in the face, man. Like you're expecting this thing to be a flavor bomb from the beginning. I was expecting it to be a lot sweeter.
It's not as hit me in the face as much as I would have thought from smelling it before we lit it.
I'm curious to see what you think of the pepper in this. To see, we always talk about we trade off when we talk about pepper. I'd like to see in your second or third puff where you think the pepper is on this one.
Funny enough, just having the cigar sit down there for a second while I was taking my jacket off, I felt like pepper started creeping up on my tongue. You know,
On the finish.
30 seconds after 30 seconds like after I put it down, it was weird.
Right, like you almost had a
Yeah.
wing and like some spicy Indian food or something. I like that though.
I like that hat. It's a good hat. Was that a Christmas gift?
Yeah, my kids got me the Giants
Giants. Is that like a
salute
camo
to
green?
heroes
Yeah.
type thing. And I apologize to our viewers, but I have been cold. Today's Thursday. I love looking forward to our Thursday smoke sessions and recording with you. But yesterday and today, I'm sitting in my office going, why am I cold? Like, am I getting sick? I was checking my temperature, and I'm not a complainer, but I go in and I talk to one of the maintenance guys, and I'm like, can you come in and just see if there's anything off? Like maybe a window's cracked. Something's not right in my office. And he came and he's like, dude, I'm so sorry. The fuse must have blown, like leading for the heat in your office. He's like, it's probably been off for like 2 or 3 days. He's like, it's like an ice box in there. You can literally hang meat. It was freezing. It was warmer like in the hallway to go outside than it was my office.
If Karen was in your room, she would have complained 3 days ago.
Well, that's the thing. He's like, dude, I get people complaining. He's like, I can't believe it took you till Thursday to come
You're
get
in
me
there
about
like
this.
a parka.
Well, I wasn't even. I was like, and I'm like, am I getting sick? So I'm honestly just trying to defrost. I had a hot cup of coffee on the way here that my wife was kind enough to make me, and I was like, I'm just bundling up. I'm going, I'm going hat and Carhartt sweatshirt. I want to be warm for for this behemoth.
That lumber bro
Yeah.
look we got going on. So the flavor is definitely starting to pick up for me a little bit as I'm a few puffs into it. I think still more the same though, like that cocoa powder kind of. I don't know, maybe I was gonna say maybe like a nutmeg in there or something like
I
that.
actually even like a nut, like almost like a cashew or an almond.
You're just like a nut,
Not the meg.
just a nut. No meg. That's so funny.
I remember first getting into cigars and kind of asking why, like the torpedo, like why the different shapes, and the only thing I can, like trying to do a little bit of research, I don't think there's any actual benefit to a torpedo other than the fact that you can have a larger ring gauge in the cigar and less in your mouth.
Well, what I had read was, so you don't need 2 hands to like cut and light it. So like with the torpedo, kind of at the tip, you can just kind of take a little bite off of it, like a little nick out of it with your tooth, put it back in your mouth, and light it with the one hand. You don't need 2 hands.
I hope I'm that cool one day, like John Wayne style, just to bite
No,
my
I'm
tip
a-
off.
yeah,
I don't
know.
even rip the pigtails. Like you're supposed to. Apparently, the pigtail you're just supposed to rip the wrapper
what's-
off. I don't
with the
ever want to do
and
that.
like you're talking about those pigtails too that are like pretty big and glued down and stuff. Dude, what I do is while I'm sitting there smoking, this is freaking weird. I like kind of like as I'm just like smoking the cigar, sitting there fidgeting or whatever, I'll take that hard pigtail or whatever, and I'll like, kind of put some spit on it and like unravel it.
I've seen you do. I believe I have a picture of you with a pretty big the Anarchy when we did like our all-nighter session.
Oh yeah.
It's like hanging like a Christmas ornament.
That's right.
It's long.
That one
that's
was long.
crazy.
That's a really long one. I didn't unravel that one all the way. The other day I was smoking a cigar that I extended it like that, but then I actually unrolled it too, and it was like a big square of tobacco.
So they're using the just extra wrapper, and that's how they finish it.
Yeah.
Instead of using a Chevette and.
Well, it's just added. It's part of it. So like instead of cutting it really small for the cap, they have a big tail on it.
Right.
When they cut it, they still cut it. They still need the knife to cut the leaf.
The end of the leaf.
But yeah, man. And then so we just recorded a few days ago because the last one got moved or whatever. But so now today, you were texting a little bit and saying we should probably at least acknowledge the fact that we have a new president.
That's correct.
Which is cool, just as of a couple days ago.
Premier Biden.
How do you feel? How do you feel, honestly? Do you like without we don't like to get too deep into it.
No, 100%.
But still, in general, it's still very okay to just if you like
have an
you
opinion.
feel optimistic. Yeah, have an
Sure.
opinion. So how do you feel? Like, do you feel the optimism? Do you feel pessimism?
I'm always like I try to be optimistic. I'm happy for the country. I think it's a welcome change for the people obviously who voted for him. For the people who haven't, we're going to have to see where it goes. But I actually had this conversation with a coworker today, and I said this. I said I slept very well last night knowing that, and I'm not saying this in a negative way, but that the big government really doesn't care about me. Like, I'm not really a blip on their radar. Nothing in my life is systematically changing as of yesterday versus today, kind of waking up. So that's kind of how I took it. Again, I think
what do you mean by that?
Like, nothing, just because of the changing of the guard, so to speak, nothing impacted my life like right away. Like, wow, from Wednesday to Thursday, look how drastically different everything is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's going to be slow systematic change or rapid change as things are going in. But I don't know that it's going to affect me on the day-to-day level. I don't think the last administration really affected me on a day-to-day
Well,
personal
and
level.
that's it's kind of funny to say that, I guess, because that's the privilege that people talk about. Like, I suppose when people talk about privilege, that's kind of what they mean is to be in a group of society, a subset of society that isn't impacted.
True, that's really true. And I didn't mean it like that. I wasn't trying to, but that's a good point.
And what those people in those groups would say is, that's why they're kind of being so loud right now is to get the attention of the people that aren't impacted so that it gets paid attention to.
Yeah, no, I definitely think there are things that need to change, and I think that's why he got as much popularity. And as a father of a daughter, it was really beautiful to see her like witness history and see as the first female vice president be sworn in.
Yeah.
And first minority, and just how things are changing. Like now, there's going to be like I don't know what the spouse of the vice president is referred to as.
The second Mister.
Right. Like I don't.
Or
know.
no, wait. So they, I guess, is it normally first lady and second lady?
I don't know.
And then in movies, when there's a female president, they say Madam President, I think, right? So then I guess it's Madam Vice President. What's the masculine of Madam?
Sorry?
Master?
I don't know.
Yeah, probably not. Definitely not master.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
So is it Mr.? No, I mean that's Mr. So
It would, yeah.
Madame Monsieur.
Monsieur, yeah.
I guess.
Why we're going French
Sir,
on it.
Master, Mr. It's just got to be. It can't be. Maybe
You
it's
just go through calling him master. I
Mr.
think that's
Mr. Madame.
something.
Mr. Madame.
But that's like all these
second
things
president.
we don't know. It'll be exciting to kind of see what the new. Like I said, I think it was a welcome change. But I kind of didn't go into it feeling like, once things change, everything's going to change. And I don't know. I feel like we had to be supportive of the last presidency. We have to be supportive of this. You don't have to agree with everything.
That's definitely something. It's odd to draw a parallel, but the Eagles just got a new head coach today, and literally I was
Congratulations.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But it's funny because I had said that in my group chat with a bunch of friends a few days ago. Where you're having the conversation, of course, about all Eagles fans having the conversation about, who do you want, who do you not want to be the head coach. And I had said something about, to be honest, whoever it is, I'm probably not going to know that much about them.
Right.
I'm probably going to convince myself to support them, and like them. And then when they ultimately disappoint me, I'm going to rail them really hard. Like that's going to be what's going to happen anyway.
Sounds like you could have almost been born a Giants fan.
So like it's in a way it's I think it's the same with the president. The parallel being, I'm going to have an opinion, maybe a more opinion on the president than I would on the coach going
Right.
in, but regardless of who gets elected, and I always said, like, as a former Marine, like, that's the commander-in-chief, so, like, that's your boss. And so it's kind of a way to look at it. And so
It
whoever
is.
it is, I'll support it and hope that, frankly, more than anything, what the country probably needs right now is unity. So hopefully they succeed on that front more than anything else.
And I like the way you use that word hope, because I think even just the fact that
That's actually Obama's word.
it is
Not mine.
Well, yeah, correct.
He made it.
He wrote it. He was H-O, throw a P in there.
Yeah,
That was my Obama.
He looks good at
I
the end.
I don't
No,
know.
that's actually, not bad-ish.
Wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
Wasn't terrible.
Bet you can't do it again.
No, I couldn't. Not even a little bit. But there is change on the horizon, and like you said, I think more unity. At least people can look to the leaders and see maybe a little bit more of themselves as they move forward, than they could in previous years. So, cautiously optimistic, with this new presidency. But did you hear? Apparently, I don't know when it started, but the sitting president leaves a letter or something for the next president coming in. Did they share what it was? I would have loved to have seen what it was.
No, they specifically said they will not share the letter. I think that's one of those things I relearn every 4 to 8 years.
Oh wow, I didn't know that, but we did know. It's such a small.
Even the little things, like I read a New York Times article, they talked about some of the decoration changes that the Bidens made to the White House. Like that's one of those things you don't ever think about it. And then when it's in the news, you're like, oh yeah, like that's kind of right. They get to go, it's their home. They get to go decorate it too and stuff.
Yeah, weird, right?
It is super weird.
There were like moving vans in front of, like you forget that they're people with like possessions and lives.
Dude, did you see the picture after Tampa played New Orleans?
No.
Dude, all right, so that, New Orleans lost. And I don't think it's official, but presumed to be Drew Brees' last game. And at the end of the game, completely after the game, after the showers, the press conferences or whatever, Drew Brees is out on the field with his kids, like playing with his wife and kids, like in the middle of the field. And then supposedly unplanned, unprompted or whatever, Tom Brady comes walking out of the tunnel and kind of goes up. And so like the still of it is like, I want to say one of Drew Brees' kids, sitting there talking to the mom. Drew Brees is like kind of tossing up one of his kids, and then Tom Brady's just sitting there talking. They're wearing like blue jeans and t-shirts, blue jeans and hoodies kind of thing. And it's that moment of like every man, like regular people. And then, dude, this is how it ended, and this is what makes you feel like it's scripted, but I'm going to assume it wasn't. And this is how it's in the newspaper article. All right, so it describes that scene, right?
Okay.
You see the picture. Tom Brady's there, kids, Drew Brees, everything. And then as Tom Brady walked away, he threw a touchdown pass to Drew Brees' son. One of them walking into the tunnel, the other, one of them walking away into the tunnel to continue in the playoffs, the other probably playing his last game. And literally, I wound up watching the video, and it's you do see as Tom Brady's walking to the tunnel, he grabs a football that's like sitting there, and he throws it in the corner of the end zone to one of Drew Brees' kids as he just keeps walking in stride to the tunnel.
What would have really made it is if the.
That's like a scene from a '90s.
I was gonna say
movie, sure.
taking off the jersey and throwing it. But what would have made that really cool is if if he went to grab the football and it was like half deflated.
Well, it's funny because my friend in text actually said, he's like, it's cool how they look like normal people. They look like regular guys. I was like, yeah, they look like regular guys for sure, until you realize that one of them's about to go start a record-setting contract in broadcasting, and the other one's going to go home and like make out with his naked boy babies. Do you remember that shit? Like when he like there's a really weird picture of him like kissing his son. Remember that?
Yeah.
So like they seem like normal guys until you realize that they're not normal at all.
That's true. I mean, I don't know that I would want. I mean, yes, I would love to play a professional sport. I would love to have the notoriety. But I heard Dave Chappelle say this once, and I just think it puts it in perspective.
He went over the edge, right?
He did. But in one of his interviews, he says, you can become famous, but you can never become unfamous. You can become infamous, but you can never become unfamous. And I was like, fuck, that's crazy. Like,
I don't know. Brendan Fraser would
But
disagree.
but if he was here, you'd be like, dude, Brendan Fraser's in my garage.
Monkey Bone, Encino Man.
You're right.
Where have you been since Encino Man?
I mean, just think of that. Like,
Looney Tunes back in
Mike
action,
the situation, Sorrentino, like, he'll be 70 and someone will be like, yo, Sitch was at the bar, Like, you can never just be a normal human again.
Yo, Sitch was that. Yeah, I mean, you are right.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I don't know that I would trade places with those guys. I like being able to just, fly under the radar most of my life.
That paycheck to paycheck thing, it's awesome. It's they don't know what they're missing.
Struggling to make ends
Yeah.
meet, and my kids like the house heated for some reason.
These are the days of
winter.
our lives. Those bastards, they don't know what they're missing.
I have heard though, the more money you have, like not more money, more problems, but they spend
do.
probably, like, you know what I mean? Like,
No, the more money you make, I really do 100%. And they say, whatever it is, like it's like 70 or 80 or maybe it's up to 90 now, as they say, is like the ideal income.
sweet spot.
Yeah, and I feel like I read at one point it was like 70, and that feels, maybe, I don't know, close to about right in terms of
No,
like
it's
your
true.
ideal happiness. Like the car that you want, the Ford, Escape or whatever, that would, like, you struggled to pay for when you were making 55K, like at 70,
Right.
75K, you can pay for that comfortably. You're not buying the Tesla, but the
Yeah.
car that you want, like this, all the stuff that your basic needs,
Your mortgage
you're
is,
exceeding.
you're comfortable
Exactly.
with.
That same mortgage that was hard to pay for at 55 grand is very easy
No,
to pay now.
I agree. Like, my wife's working for the first time
Then
in a
when
while.
you get past that, you start stretching your means. You're like, well, maybe instead of that Ford Escape, like maybe I want the
Raptor.
the
So now it's,
250
whoa.
extended cab, this,
Right.
that, whatever.
But like, my wife and I were joking, like, oh, it's so great to have, like, she's working her ass off. She's like got a great income now. And then she's like, yeah, but it puts us in this crazy tax bracket now. And I'm like, man, I didn't even think of that. So you're like, you bust your butt and then you're in this new tax bracket where you're like, oh, geez, all right.
Yeah.
So I worked for this, but I'm only bringing home this. So what's my time worth to my family,
Yeah.
Crazy.
No, 100%.
Crazy.
Dude, yeah. Like once you get to a point, when your income starts growing and you start paying attention to the taxes, that does get crazy.
I have to go to like a seminar to like learn about really what my investment portfolio looks like for retirement. I'm like, man, when did I get like old? Like I felt like I never thought of that
Who's
stuff.
putting that on?
Huh?
Like, is that through your union or?
Yeah, the union has stuff, but just even like calling and trying to get a little bit more info, like, do I need to diversify
Just trying to
more,
understand
aggressive,
it.
conservative, right? Like be a little bit more understanding
You have
because,
something on your lip.
was it ash?
No, it's gone. You got it. Or no, now it's on the left left bottom, on the lip. There, no.
Wrapper?
There.
Ash?
Oh, it's still there. Maybe it's
Herpes?
dead skin.
I know, some soda will get it off.
There you go.
Did you get that picture I
Pretzel
sent you of the sugar cookie chapstick? My wife got me like for my stocking. It was the Christmas like holiday pack, pumpkin pie, pepper, candy cane, which
Yeah.
is really just peppermint.
Yeah, you
and
said
sugar
good,
cookie.
good for keto sugar
Yeah.
cookie chapstick. I'm like, wait, but are you gonna bite it? Like,
No, but I'll tell you what, I would like put it on and
but
like,
doesn't
a
that
little
make
bit,
you want to like that?
lick
wouldn't-
your lips a little bit more?
No, doesn't make you want to eat like that. To me, that would make me
Oh.
want. That would make me crave a sugar cookie. I'd be like,
don't know.
oh, like that's like.
I guess I'm
that
used
makes
to
your
it
mouth
now.
water.
Yeah,
You
a
know
little
what I
bit.
mean? You're like,
little bit.
oh, cookies. Yeah, I can't wait to not have one.
That's true. I had a protein bar and I was satiated, as the word
Oh,
they say is.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just learning restraint, man.
Dude, my diet. So we just shot a few days ago, and I was saying how, I'm trusting the process with the macros, but I gained like a pound in the first 5-6 days or whatever. I'm happy to report that.
And
like,
your
I'm-
badonk.
Yeah, I'm happy to report that I'm on the downswing now, so still trusting the process
Good.
with macros. Haven't had to change the numbers, but weight started coming off, and the body fat percentage is dropping like even more, which is good. I think with all those walks, I'm putting
I was
on the
gonna,
booty.
I was gonna say,
My booty's
you don't,
growing.
you're not a toot your own horner kind of guy. I don't know that even makes sense, but you're not accolade guy, but dude, I see you. You're killing the walks, man. I miss it. I'm excited to go back to it.
Yeah, I am. I'm almost up to 30,000 calories this month on walks, according to the app, because I have the. That's my January goal is 30,000 calories. I was like,
crazy.
Jesus, that's gonna be 1,000 a day. Like,
Right. Oh yeah.
So I just in the first few days of the month, I just did like 3-hour walks to like just
crazy.
bank up some calories. So I can.
I'm gonna eat those all at the
get
end of the
that
month.
badge. Get that badge.
It makes it
going.
like a video game, though. That's
Dude,
what it starts
I
to
love
do.
the
Like,
Apple Watch. And I hate that I love the Apple Watch.
right? Because I remember
don't-
there was a time where you were like, I'll trade you some cigars for it. I'm not even going to
That's
use
right.
it.
I forgot. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'll trade you some cigars for the
'Cause
Apple
I was going to
Watch.
get it for my wife. I was going to I'll give it to Allie. She'll like
I
it.
hated. I hated the idea of it. I put it on once when I got it, and I was like, "This is stupid."
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't wear it for like a year and a half. And then when I started walking, I was like, "I want credit for this." Like,
I remember you being like, dude, I didn't have, or I paused it,
Oh, dude,
so
that's
we were,
the worst.
We were like bummed for not getting credit for our walk.
Well, that's the thing, and so it started. So then I was like, all right, well, let me put the watch on just for my walk.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, that's when I learned the whole stand, the 12 hours a day it wants you to stand. So I was like, oh, shit, now I can't take it off after the walks. Because
It got you.
I need.
It's Apple. Steve Jobs is in your
Dude.
soul.
Dude, so there's a.
Isn't there a sleep one where you're supposed to wear it when you're asleep to give you your sleep
There's
diagnostics?
a Whoop band that does that. So there's this documentary on Netflix. I don't have Netflix, so I haven't seen it, but I've heard about it, and it's made like 2 people I know get off of social media entirely. And the thing is that they say is exactly what you said, how they got me.
Yeah.
But apparently, so that they interview literally like people that created social media. So he said one of the people he interviewed was the guy that created the like button for Facebook. And they were talking about the science behind it and how it hooks you. And then at the very end of the documentary, he said they asked every person that they interviewed the whole thing, they asked them all the same question. Do you let are your kids on social media? Every one of them, he said no. It's maybe Social Dilemma, maybe that's the one on Netflix. Apparently, it's worth checking out. He said he's gonna give me his password just so I can watch that because I don't know. I guess he won't. I don't know why to make myself more paranoid.
It's probably the same.
But it got me. Like literally by design, the Apple Watch quote kind of hooked me into, and then what's next? What's next is you're gonna go to a wedding and then you're like, well, I need a new band.
Get the leather one now.
And then that's, now you're upselling, you're buying more, and then they come out with a new one every year.
I know, which I remember like the first watch was like 2 or 3 years, and then it was like every year and a half, and now every 12 months, and now every 6 months. You're like, God. I got a third party watch band for mine where the actual screen just kind of fits right into
That's
it. So it
kinda
doesn't
neat.
connect. Yeah, I like it. It's a little bit
It's
more
like a more
protected.
traditional watch band.
You know what it reminded me of? The old Casio bands.
Yeah.
Like the rugged.
Looks like- it's like, yeah.
Army green. I kind of liked it. I don't know.
No, it is cool.
$20 Amazon, whatever.
It's cool that it looks more like a traditional watch. I like
Yeah.
that. I don't really.
I never liked that, especially when I was riding a motorcycle. I just never trusted that little button. I was
you
like,
know-
man, and then it's never fallen off.
I know. It's
But
weird.
I just was like, you know what? I don't like that.
I
I
was-
need this. That makes me feel good.
Yeah,
that
I
makes me
was-
sleep better.
I was skeptical myself, and the band I got is a little small for me, so I'm kind of on the second to last one. So there's not even a whole lot of overlap to go tuck in.
I never had a lot of overlap to go. I was always like the monster putting it on.
And
Making
I
my
don't
own
like the
holes.
rubber band on it. Like it does.
Smells.
It probably does. I don't know.
Not yours, but other people's.
It does smell in there a little bit.
Well, even from like the soap buildup and stuff.
Yeah.
Like everything.
I mean,
doesn't
I
breathe
take it
well.
off when I shower. I don't wear it in the shower. I know some people wear it like all the time.
You only wear a t-shirt.
Dude,
in the shower.
I'll never forget when I was a kid. I had a watch. Like literally like elementary school, like a Phillies watch, and I didn't take it off for anything. It was waterproof, and it was like so cool that it was waterproof. When you're that age, you think that kind of stuff is awesome. And I would wear it in the shower and everything. And then I remember taking it off one time, and it was just like that was funky. There's mildew like under the watch. It was gross.
And then you get the tan line in the summer. Like that's the thing. Like I get real tan. Like I tan up.
Yeah, you
so
do.
like it shows.
You look like that little baby in the thing where it's like a brown baby with a diaper down and a little white tushy.
You know, it's funny. I was showering, and my wife's like, "How are you still tan? It's January." I'm like, "This is pale for me."
What nationality are you?
I am Polish and Italian, so I have like the Sicilian skin, which is weird. And my dad's actually like you think Polish, you think very like pale, but
And stupid.
I don't know. And stupid.
Yeah.
Well, that part. we're 16 episodes in. There's no hiding that now. That's out of the
Oh,
bag.
you haven't dropped your cigar in like 2 episodes.
No, you just jinxed it. Yep. It's gonna
That was the point.
set it on fire.
No, now I'm gonna drop it.
I'm a little bit ahead of you, but I'm starting
I've
to
been
get
a slow
some
smoker.
caramely. Like the flavors definitely open it up.
Caramely.
Really enjoying chocolatey, caramely, peanut buttery Butterfinger. No, I don't want to say retrohale because then you think I'm like highbrow.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I was actually just watching our last episode, like editing it or whatever. And I was like, man, yeah, I really railed you for that in the beginning.
It's okay. You know what though? Like I was smoking with Brian. And his wife was actually in the hospital for a little bit. She's doing okay now. Nothing COVID related or anything like that. But he was like, I just want to let's go in our smoking tent because that's what we have. We have a little Coleman set up.
Is this
'cause
yesterday?
It's freezing. Yesterday, and I was like, what are you gonna smoke? He's like, I don't know. Come look at my humidor and tell me. So and he had a nice Padron in there, 1926. I was like, dude, that's a good stick. I was like, but you got a retro. You got to get the flavors out of that. And he was like, dude, that last third. It ended up being cold, and I went in, and he sat out
your
there.
cutter?
Sure.
I'm getting
Tight draw.
It's starting to tighten up. Can you see? Dude, I'm starting to get like tar coming out. You see that?
Oh, yeah, you got that.
Dude, I've had that a few. Wait, you have that now too?
A little
Do you?
bit.
Do you? No, maybe not. Why do I get that? I
don't know.
understand. Dude, this is like
Do you suck like, I mean...
I must suck really hard or something?
But they say it's not the tar. That's like the oil. Like, we've looked it up. I don't know.
I don't know. So like, dude, it's so bizarre that I get this.
You've sent me multiple pictures. Different sticks, different brands.
Yeah. It's
definitely
legit
something.
tar. I mean, I don't know. But it tastes like shit. Not that I'm licking it, but I don't want to lick it by accident. So just
Good. Get it all over my cutter. That'll be...
cut a little further.
I actually did hear that because the tobacco and it's tightening into that
I
torpedo.
tried to do a little bit of a crown cut, but
That was kind of cool. looks like Bart Simpson's hair, but it's cool.
know.
It's kind of cool.
What are you saying?
People, like when I watched some reviews on this, they said like some people were complaining about the tightness of the draw, but I'm not getting any tightness of the draw.
Mine would get tight, but
Well, probably because whatever was coming through.
Yeah.
You can't put a Slurpee through that and it not be plugged up.
like, why am I trying to drink pudding through my cigar and it's not working?
Chocolate pudding. Were you the one? Yes. didn't you?
Yeah, dude.
The caramel butterscotch pudding or something you were saying?
Yeah, sugar-free butterscotch pudding.
I gotta get into that,
Dude,
man.
and with some chocolate chips, dude. Because you wind up putting like, it's I weigh it all, and so one serving it's like 7 grams of mini chocolate chips. You don't use this.
And those are regular chocolate chips. You're not doing
Well, that's what I was
sugar-free.
gonna say. Like, I don't know if this would be good for keto because I'm allowed to eat carbs on this diet, but for my
I
diet,
do sugar-free chocolate chips all day.
you can do
bud.
sugar-free. Yeah,
Oh,
I do the real ones, and like, dude.
Hey, mine are
You know
real
what-
too, okay?
You know what I notice is that, like, with being on the macros and having to weigh food and do like real, normal human portions. So like an example being this it's this hearty bowl of oatmeal.
Yeah.
And if I were to say like, hey man, like throw some chocolate chips in that, it's awesome. You'd grab like a fucking handful and you'd throw it all in there.
You want one in every bite.
Multiple in every bite, and this and that, and you would love it. It would be so chocolatey. When you do this and you weigh it, and you get like 7 grams of mini ones, you still get a little bit of in every. Like it's still plenty of chocolate. It's more than enough chocolate to taste chocolate in every single bite. I promise you. Every single bite has chocolate in it, and so it's starting to retrain your brain on what a real portion is. The problem is I'll never be able to do it without measuring, stick
Right.
to that kind of stuff. I don't know that I'll be able to stick to it with measuring, so we'll see. I'm only a pound down.
We should note that you just started your new career as a chocolate chip representative as well. Kidding. No, and that's why, when I was looking into diets like that, I think I saw that one. Even with keto, everyone's like, weigh this, do macros. I just knew, I was like, I'm not going to do that. So I'm not setting myself up to fail.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
I knew right away I was going to do it.
Of course, yeah. For sure. So, all right, this one is definitely a long smoke. So let's take a break, get some more to drink, smoke some more of this down, and we'll come back for the final third.
Sounds good to me, bud. That's the sound your mother made last night, Trebek.
And we're back.
I feel like every time we take a break, we're like, we should still be recording.
I know. So that's why we're just going back, because it is funny. Well, we're sitting here, like we're like, oh, let's just take a little break, and then we just start talking again some more, and we're like, oh, shit, we should still be recording. Crap, whatever. So we just came back, and instead of waiting to the final third, we just came back early. But
are you getting any flavors as you're kind of hitting that?
No, I'll tell you what. It's nice cigar. It's $16.50 like MSRP.
On the cheap side. Like, I've seen it go up to 21.
Well, it can also go down a lot cheaper on like Cigar Bid or whatever. So like I don't know, but like MSRP is like I want to say it's like $50 for 3 of them. Like, I think it comes out to like 16,
right.
60, something like that. So I mean, this is just a nice smooth cigar. I think this would be a great gift cigar.
Yeah.
I think this, especially maybe somebody that's a little older and just likes, that like, or not necessarily older,
Traditional.
but like more traditional. Yeah, that somebody appreciates the Davidoffs and the Padrones and those kind of things.
That's true.
With the presentation, with the box.
I was gonna say, like, it's nice because, like, I actually have a box of these, and they come. I mean, it's a huge box. It's almost like 3/4 of the table, and then these are laid out. I think there's like 12 or 13 of them in there. So I mean, it's like, I remember when I got shipped to me, I was like, "What is this? A surfboard?"
It's a box of boxes, yeah.
But right, you can gift one, and the presentation sealed. It's just,
dude, and exactly. And so it's you give one to somebody as part of a gift, or maybe somebody that you're not super close to. So you're like, $15 gift maybe is appropriate. Go into somebody's house that smokes cigars instead of a bottle of wine or something like that. This is like
that is a
if they're a
good
cigar smoker. Perfect for that. It's got a good flavor profile for that. I would say it's really safe to do that and gift it, because my guess is most cigar smokers, would like it. But I don't love it. It doesn't knock my socks off.
No, hasn't knocked my socks off.
It's just not my flavor profile either. So I don't know.
Which is funny, because when we talk about, like, when you look at it on paper, the profile,
it,
that's like right what we.
It almost tastes dry to me, like
it does have a dry, and I'm even getting some woody,
like hollow, woody, wood chippy, like that light wood chippy. Like, there's just flavorlessy.
I just can't believe that, like,
flavorlessy.
I just can't believe that smell we got off the foot in the absolute
so
beginning.
strong,
like, kicked you in the mouth, and then not bad by any means. Good cigar. Like, I'm glad I have more, but again, like, I actually like that idea. I like your idea. I may save these as, like,
yeah, they're great gifts.
Graduation gift or whatever it is.
Now, I have other Ave Maria cigars that I really enjoy.
Have you had the Argentum?
I don't fucking know, dude. They all look the same, and
they do. They look the same, but so Ave Marias, I always thought were just the smaller ones.
They're not, and then I don't even understand it, because
I think
when you go to their website, I've had like 3 different Ave Maria cigars in my humidor that are not on their website. So like I don't even understand this. I don't know. Like, when you go to their website, they have all these different sizes, but you don't see different, like, blends.
You know what else I don't see? I don't see these a lot in brick and mortar.
These are Reconquistas?
No, Ave Maria is a brand.
Oh, I have, but you're right. I don't see it often.
Not often.
No, not at all. It's a weird brand. We already
like you said,
I can't figure it out. It's like hidden mystery. Maybe they want it to be that way. I don't know.
And I wonder, like, with the price built in, like, I mean, it's got to be, you're paying for the box at some point. Like, at some point of the purchase, it has to be built in there.
Definitely, because when you look at it too, like, it's painted. It's
right. Like, they spent some time on it.
I think it's machine painted.
Even this label.
Now, I mean, it's hand painted by somebody that's, I'm assuming, doesn't have really good company, dental and vision, and a 401k plan. That probably isn't that expensive of an employee, but
even that little fingernail notch in there.
It's well thought out. Well thought out for sure. We were, was it just last week or 2 weeks ago?
I think it was.
Wait, what?
Might have been 2 weeks ago. I thought you were going where we were going, but I'll let you go there. I was anticipating what you were going to say.
Well, I'm not going to say it now.
Oh, man.
No, I don't know.
I was definitely hoping for some more flavors as it got to the midway point.
Yeah, no, it's really not. I don't know what
for a dark, it's mild.
Pick back up, but we'll find a way to pick back up. It is. I don't like it that much, frankly.
Wow.
It's just okay.
Yeah, I'm sad. I'm sad they don't like it as much. I'm sad that I don't like it as much.
So, So a couple weeks ago, or I don't know if it was last episode or before that, we were talking about Alex Trebek potential replacements, and so now they have episode like since whenever that was, like the last Trebek episode aired.
Right.
He had been passed away for a couple weeks already, but the last episode he had recorded aired, and then you had said that to me the other day or earlier today that guy that won a lot, Ken Jennings or whatever, he's been hosting it, but that's interim, right? So we still don't have an answer.
Sounds like interim, although I heard like obviously he's doing it, so he's kind of in the running.
I thought I heard at some point, are a few people filling in, or is it just him?
To be honest, I haven't watched.
Maybe
I haven't watched his last episode.
Dude, I haven't watched Jeopardy in a very long time.
Yeah. We're more of a Wheel of Fortune family. Just because the kids and letters and it's easier to do than like my kids aren't gonna. I don't know half the stuff on Jeopardy.
No.
Way more than half.
But I guess maybe I'm remembering like the Today Show or something a long time ago. They like rotated hosts until they found who they liked. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. For some reason, I thought they were doing something similar with whatever that.
It would really be cool if we can like revisit the episode and be like, hey, one of the people we talked about got the job. I don't think that's gonna happen.
I think the magic of technology, we can revisit that. We can go see.
But I just mean it would have been cool if we called it. Like if one of the people we talked about, like
maybe. I mean, we only named like 4 people. I think I remember.
Yeah, it's
who they
a
were.
small pool.
I remember who they were. It's not going to be a hard. If they pick one of the people that I predicted, I will remember that. That won't be a problem. I'll give myself all kinds of credit for it, and nobody will care. But I'll remember it.
So Ken Jennings, I think, deserves this shot. I just think like he's the placeholder, but apparently he's trying. Like I heard him say somewhere, like I know I'm not the most personable guy. I'm trying to do better with my banter and with my,
I haven't seen it, but I'm out on it I'm out on it just conceptually.
I didn't see the episodes where Jennings won a bazillion times.
Yeah, I would just be out on it because it's like, just because you're a Hall of Fame wide receiver doesn't mean you're a great coach. Right, like just because like he's
commentator.
Exactly, like he's not that personable and all that stuff. Like I don't know, give us somebody good. Give us somebody that we can invite into our living rooms for another 40 years.
I know, it's crazy.
Or other people can, because I didn't watch Jeopardy anyway. But
he hosted for a while.
40 some years, 40 years, 37 years, something like that.
That's crazy.
Dude, yeah, that's a lot of mustache.
He's gotta be. Well, he shaved it.
Did he?
I think he grew it back, but then I think for a while he got tired of it. And he's Canadian.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Really?
Huh. Canadian. I figure it doesn't sound.
Does it make you think like?
He doesn't have an accent.
Well, he enunciates everything.
That's true. He's a well-spoken man. So earlier today, I've been looking for locations for the sandwich shop I'm opening, and had to go, found a spot. I don't remember if I talked about it before, but found a spot that I really love. But there's some things that would need to be upgraded on the unit, like more electricity and more plumbing and stuff to the unit, before we even talk about the fit out. So I was all excited. Went there and met contractors today, just because just finding out if those couple things, improving those things, is going to be a showstopper cost-wise.
Sure.
Met the contractors there today, but then they're not going to get me an estimate till the middle of next week. So wait a whole week, unfortunately.
Playing the waiting game.
Dude, yeah, it's so hard. It's like waiting for Christmas all the time, or I was talking to a friend of mine today. It was kind of like, because I want to get this store open. I want to start making money. I want to start growing the business. I'm excited.
Sure.
I said it's like, it'd be like if you are a salesperson and you start a new sales job and then they tell you can't cold call for 3 months. Like you're just sitting there on your hands. You're like, I want to make deals. Like I want to go. I want to open business. I'm so excited to sling some hogs, man.
I feel like every step you've been like, well, I did this, but now I have to wait for 3 people to get back to me about this. Mm-hmm. And then you get to that point, you're like, well, now it has to get approved by these people, and they then have to say if this will work. So
yeah, and
it's an undertaking.
Everybody's been great to work with. Honestly, they have, for the most part. But it's one of those things. You're coordinating a bunch of different moving parts and kind of trying to quarterback this whole thing and keep everybody in line and make sure you're getting the funding in line at the right pace, so that you're doing this and this and this and this. And just by the nature of working with all those different people, you shoot an email to somebody, ask them a question, whatever. Maybe it takes a day or two for them to get back, and then you do that. Like it's just everything's being reasonable. It's just things take time. I have noticed,
And it's this big scope. Like, I can only think of like house and like other things, but now you're talking about like business and employees and like there's
Oh yeah,
so
well once I haven't even
much.
gotten to that.
That's
part
what I mean.
yet,
Like, and
but-
that's as someone who's not in the business world.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, oh well, you find a location and you start hiring your workers.
It's gonna be having to pick payroll companies and like figure out all that stuff. It'll be fun. Honestly, it'd be an exciting challenge. I have noticed it is, and it's interesting. I have a good bit of like business experience, but in the like software company world, not really in the brick and mortar restaurant world, and there's definitely like some differences. It's kind of funny, like just in the way people conduct business. And I, frankly, like I like it. I think that's one of the things that's drawing me to this world is it's more casual.
Yeah.
The software world is casual. It's casual in a different way. Like expectations are different, and like I'm wound pretty tight in general. Like I have high expectations of people in a lot of ways, a lot of times, and like I know that going into this world, I'm gonna have to just alter my expectations.
Do you feel like it's going to be tough for you? Like you're going to be working with, I think, not only different personalities but different like age ranges. Like obviously your frontline employees are going to be most likely younger, more entry level.
Well, and the thing is, they'll have that job at that age. I mean, that's the job where when you don't want to work anymore, like, sometimes they'll just no-show and stuff like that. Like, that's going to suck. That's going to suck big time.
Or like, hey, my track coach says I can't miss, so I can't work these shifts or these shifts. Everything you thought they could do. Do you worry about like how your management style is going to fit into that, or how you're going to have to augment that to fit?
Big time, dude. Yeah, like big time. Like that's, and honestly, to the biggest extent, it's been on my mind is that kind of acknowledging it and knowing that I'm gonna have to approach it differently. But I don't know that I have like a strategy necessarily, other than to not be a dick and understand that like, when you have somebody in a type of job where it's more of a career, you can set a bar somewhere. I think you can have certain expectations, and in this brick and mortar kind of world, especially with the younger employees, maybe like that are just straight like 20-hour a week while they're in high school or college kind of thing. For them, they don't need that job. So like I can't have unreasonable expectations. I can have normal human expectations, like don't steal, don't talk on your phone when you're at the register. I can have that level of expectations that any human, any employer would have of them. But I can't have like really high expectations because if they're making minimum wage, there's 17 other stores in the shopping center they can go make the same wage on. So like there's no, I can't set some bar of excellence necessarily. I don't know, dude, how does Chick-fil-A do it? That's the biggest thing that I want to know. Honestly, I want to send all my employees to Chick-fil-A school. Like, do you know what I'm talking about?
I
Like,
know exactly what you're talking about. We took our kids to
it's
Chick-fil-A, and
their-
they were like
they're
young
polite.
kids excited, like the food runners, because they can't, whatever the laws are of age. I was like, dude, how old are you? He's like, I'm like 15. I had to get my parents to sign. He's just a food runner, but happy as can be. I was
But
like,
their
man.
thing, and they're just known for their customer service, like all the pleases and thank yous, and like they're bubbly all the time.
Sir, ma'am, and like
I just don't like
old South
what
mentality.
What I don't understand is how do they get that mentality from headquarters in Georgia or wherever Chick-fil-A is? How do they get that kind of dedication to the brand from headquarters through all to each franchisee, like every employee, like through all their district managers and the store managers and the shift managers and the part-time managers and then this all the way down to so that food runner is polite as can be, or he loses his job. And how, like, I don't know if does Chick-fil-A pay more than other?
They might.
Like, how do they get people to do it? It's wild, but I need to. That's the answer, I guess, to your question. Is I've thought about it, and I want to
Troubleshoot it.
have all my employees go to work at Chick-fil-A for a year.
Well, I wonder, does your franchise offer like a school or like a training program?
Yeah, but it's just for like me in the beginning,
Right.
And then I can send like managers there for like $500 or something like that, But yeah, which is cool, but yeah, not to the extent that you would send, because
Your whole the food runner's not going.
Well, remember then, you send that food runner there, you're literally paying them a wage for 2 weeks, and keep in mind that 2 months from now they're going to no-show you, and not, so it's kind of like that you can't make that kind of investment in those employees.
Not to switch gears, but I've had to touch this up like 4 times, and we're
Dude,
not outside.
I didn't have to until I got about halfway. Was yours all once you got to halfway also?
No, like I had to touch it up like a couple puffs in. I was
Mine,
thinking
went
maybe I didn't
out.
light it, but like I mean, even the burn. Like, I'm like,
Mine went out. The draw had gotten tough. I don't know, man. Not my favorite stick, but I still concur. Like I still agree. I concur with my own opinion that great gift stick. I think everybody will like it in terms of like they won't hate it.
It's not spicy. It's not crazy.
Yeah, you can't give somebody the super boutique stick, and if they're used to something high end, that would completely turn them off. And so, just the same way that if somebody's just used to drinking Budweiser, you wouldn't give them a really hoppy IPA, even if it was really good.
Yep. Or being in the bourbon
gift
world, like you having those cask aged ones that are kind of really different. You're like, I don't love it. I'm going to drink it because it was a $100 bottle. Like we're going to smoke it because it was a whatever. But
yeah, for sure. But in light of that, we got about 19 hours left on this stick. I don't know that we're going to spend all that time and finish it because I don't know, based on our opinion and what time it is. But so let's just call it here, bud.
Sounds good.
A great episode. Thanks everybody again for listening. And as always, long ashes.
Stay smoky.
Thanks for checking out the Cedar Culture Podcast. If you'd like that episode, go ahead, tap, like, follow, subscribe, whatever it is on your platform of choice. And if you are on YouTube, hit that bell as well to be notified of new episodes. It really helps us out. We appreciate it.
And then don't forget to head over to Instagram and Facebook and follow us as well.
Do it.
Do it.